Hi, I'm Dog, and welcome back to the Clickety Click UBL 2017. Today I wanted to give a quick overview, division by division, of the league, and just a little bit of history, just what I know. I joined after the 2013 season. The UBL was formed and began play in 2012. And it is now the off-season post 2017. We've had a number of members come and go, and a number of members have remained on the in the UBL. So we have a good history as a league. We've learned as we have gone our way, and I think we're a good, strong league, and I'm hoping we're well positioned for a long future. I'm having a blast with it. And I hope other people are too, and hope our membership continues to grow. There are 16 teams here in the UBL. Down at the bottom of the screen, let me dismiss this right away because we voted to have a wild card race following 2017, a wild card playoff system. It was a quick vote, and it was voted in, and I'm glad to see it. Obviously, I'm glad to see it. I would have been the wild card of the East League this year. Portland would have been the wild card of the West. Quick look. We talked about a little bit about the Southeast and Louisville's amazing worst to first run this year. Key West, aka Chattanooga, has been strong since really since 2013. 2014 we were strong, but we had some injury problems and our rotation wasn't quite set. Nashville has been up and down, and Charleston has been on a downward slump ever since their inaugural season UBL Series championship. All four of these teams have now won the Big Easy, the Big East Southeast. Nashville has won twice. Charleston won once, Nashville twice. And in Nashville's second championship season, they held off Louisville by one game. Key West has won it twice, and now Louisville has won it. So it's been a very competitive division. We call it dogfighting, pun intended, and we have a lot of fun in the East-Southeast. The East-Northeast, or the ENI, and every time they say ENI, I think eeny, meeny, miny, mo. But the ENI has also been very competitive, with one big exception. The tank master himself, Yankee Kane, has guided the Raleigh Stealth to a number of historically terrible seasons in his quest for a pile of 1-1 draft picks, some of which have turned out fragile, some of which have busted, but he continues. The quest continues. Meanwhile, Madison has had a seemingly lock on the East-Northeast division, and was looking for a three-peat East League championship this year, but failed to garner the championship when Louisville beat them in the 4-1 in the East League Championship Series, the ELCS. Chesapeake and Richmond have always been 500-plus clubs and have always given Madison a run for the money. And I'll probably do a deep dive into these divisions in another episode, another video. The West-Northwest has been, this is an interesting division. BC has historically dominated it by virtue of their small ballpark and a roster just loaded with sluggers, Al Walker for one. They also have had one of the largest budgets in the UBL, and that has doubtless assisted their quest. Lancaster has been at the top of the league at times, mainly by virtue of pitching. And if you look at Lancaster pitching, you will see a team and a sort of a philosophy that I have learned from carefully. A lot of pitchers who have very high movement ratings on their delivery. Their baseballs they throw have a strong sink factor to them. So I have learned from them. However, this past year They cut a lot of budget and finished last in the division. Portland has long been the envy of the league with their pitching staff. And you can see 64 and 56. In any other division, they would have made a strong run for the money, but BC just ran away with the division this year. The AI controlled BC. Winnipeg was my pick to win the division. In fact, to win the UBL series this year, and I put down a significant bet on it. And as you can see, Winnipeg really they came in under 500, despite having great pitching and good run production. So all four of these teams, in any given year, the West Northwest may be comparable to the East Southeast in that in any given year, any one of these teams, I would not be surprised for any one of these teams to win it next season. The West Southwest was dominated this season by the AI-guided Tijuana Cabrones, the Donkey Butts. Las Vegas made a race of it. Las Vegas is the former Red Stick Raiders, who had some very abysmal seasons. But now that Borman is the pilot of the Aces, they turned around and had a really good season. That's not a slam at prior management of Red Stick. Or maybe it is. Red Stick was really weird. Salt Lake City has been a study in misery. Les Miserables. These guys have had ridiculous amounts of injury to critical players every single season. Perhaps after the first season. I think the first season, the 2012 season, they did very well. But ever since then, it's just been bad. They've been making pretty decent, draft picks and roster moves, but they just had a lot of bad luck. Oklahoma tanked it in prior seasons, but as you can see this season, they're rising from the ashes like the Phoenix. And Oklahoma stands to make a run for the division title next year behind some of its young talent with a mix of seasoned veterans. And they said they have a good budget to draw from as well. You can see they ended last season on a nice 7-3 run. Both Oklahoma and BC ended the season on a surge, and nobody was hotter though than Key West, 8-2 run, but that was in garbage time. That was when everybody had thrown in the towel, and the race was pretty much decided for Louisville. Watch out for Oklahoma next year, but I don't know what to say about Salt Lake City. I've never seen them healthy enough to make a run for it since I've been in the league. But if they stay healthy this year, who knows? I guess my bet is on. I'm just going to say it right now. My bet's on Tijuana to repeat. Tijuana's got some studs, and has been loaded. This is the former Las Vegas Gamblers team that Spiker began setting up, and I think Spiker put in place a really good organization that was positioned for a good future. He left us because of, I think it was tax season got a hold of him. I think we got several tax accountants on in our league. What else? So West Southwest, Tijuana, I think is my pick. Vegas and the Wheaties, the Wheat Thins, might give them a run. I wouldn't be too surprised to see any of those three teams win. In the West Northwest, I think it's going to take Lancaster a few years to rebuild. Winnipeg, if they don't deal away the property, the farm, I still like Winnipeg. I think they've got a good org. It's going to be tough to gain 22 games on BC. So I'll say it, BC to repeat in the West Northwest, which not a fun thing for me to say because I don't like the Brawlers. In the East Northeast, well, I'd say it's easy for me to predict a Madison repeat, and that's what I'll do. I think Richmond and Chesapeake will give it another run for it, and I'm just waiting. The clock is ticking for Raleigh to turn it back around. In the East Southeast, well, I'm going to go, this is a homer pick, I'm going to go with Key West. I think Louisville will chase us surprise a lot of the season, and I think it'll surprise some people. But Key West is notorious for tanking in the batting, especially early in the season. Nashville, I don't know what to think about them. They were not far out of the race, and if they stay free of injury, they could be in it. I think Charleston's on a multi-year rebuilding gig, and it'll take them a few more years to get back up to the top. So there you have it. I'm looking at a Key West Madison East League Championship Series and a BC and Tijuana repeat in the West. And ultimately, I think it's going to come down to the ELCS winner. So there you go. Going out on a limb for you guys. I'll come back in a future episode with a deep dive into each division. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.